The same, I think, is India's biggest contribution to business jargon because it's used everywhere, it is clear and mind boggling, to be honest. Sometimes Indians may say something more succinctly, sometimes more elegantly, and often both. Let me explain. What is the game changing contribution that Indians have made to the world of business? You may say we have contributed CEOs who are running multinational giants such as Google, Microsoft, and Procter Gamble. That's true, but CEOs come and go just like you and me. And very often, after they leave, their vision, mission, strategy also leaves. I'm talking about a more permanent contribution. It is to the wonderful world of business jargon, from which all these things, vision, mission, strategy, digital transformation, all those come from there. Mostly it's the Americans who have created this wonderful jargon and over the years honed it to perfection, or to use one of the terms, taken it to the next level. So in this scenario, for Indians for whom English is not even a mother tongue, to actually be able to add value is difficult, but we have done it with ease. And with each edition, we have contributed significantly to business efficiency, employee motivation, and overall made life easier and more fun. Sometimes Indians may say something more succinctly, sometimes more elegantly, and often both. Let me explain this. For example, an American may say, let's bring forward this event by a few days. The Indian would say simply, let's pre-pone it. Though in reality, we do the opposite more often. Take another scenario. If an American were caught playing Wordle during the CEO's address, they may admit that they were doing it to alleviate the boredom, which is not only long, it's also a tad insulting to the CEO in question. The Indian would say that they were doing it simply as time pass. Not only is it shorter, just one word, it's also much less rude. In fact, it's almost polite. Similarly, an American sales director galvanizing his team to achieve the first quarter's target may say, give it your 100%, to use one of their favorite jargons, and do whatever it takes to achieve it. The Indian sales director would just say, do the needful. It is in emails that Indians really excel at corporate communication. For example, if there's a client visit on 4th April, and let's take an American and Indian, they're not able to make it for the event, both of them would start the subject with client visit on Monday, 4th April. The American would say, thank you for inviting me for the client visit. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend because I will be traveling. However, John Miller will attend on my behalf. The Indian would simply say, thank you for the same. Unfortunately, I'm out of station on that day, but Raj Mehta will attend the same. I sometimes think same may be Indians' biggest contribution to business lexicon. This one word replaces several words, sometimes several sentences, sometimes even paragraphs. Okay, let me give you another example. You're interviewing a candidate for a junior role, and the candidate is an American, and asked about his education, he may say, I graduated from St. Xavier's. And you get a clinical description of what happened. He got a degree. Yawn. The Indian will tell you the same thing by saying, I passed out of St. Xavier's, thereby conveying in that one phrase the trauma, the difficulty, the hard work that he put in. And you automatically want to shortlist the candidate and take this interview further. because he's not just described the degree, he has described the survival he had to achieve to get it. Now imagine this very, very likely scenario. The boss is in another city, but you do not know it. And you go and ask the boss's secretary for an appointment to meet the boss. The secretary, if she were American, would tell you, sorry, they are away. You won't know whether the boss has gone to the toilet, has gone to run a small errand, or is in a meeting with a client for lunch. And you may come back in an hour. Or worse, you may sit outside, wait for the boss to come back. Whereas if the secretary is Indian, they would tell you, sorry, the boss is out of station. So clear. No question of waiting outside or coming back in an hour. Okay, let's commit to doing 3 things today. 1, let's recognize India's tremendous contribution to business jargon. Number 2, let's celebrate it. And number 3, as a form of celebration, let's start using this across offices, not only in India, but every part of the world. And let's therefore make business more efficient and more fun. As we Indians would say, let's do the needful.